Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Charlotte Canion. She is a true Renaissance woman. She's an author, speaker, actress, inventor, and coach. You're going to hear her amazing journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when I was growing up, the dream was that you retire at 65. And I've known so many people who retire at 65 and they're dead by 66. They've got no purpose. They've got no reason to get out of bed in the morning. And so I invited my next guest on to talk about why you want to stay active, why you always want to have a purpose. Charlotte Canion is in the studio. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Yes.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your life. And you've got a lot of stuff going on.
I do.
So, why don't we start in the early days? Where were you born and raised?
I was actually born in Arkansas, but my dad got me here as quick as he could. He was from Texas, so he moved my mom, Arkansas girl. So I went to Bryan Adams here in Dallas, Texas.
Wow. And I know you wrote a best-selling book a few years ago. Let's go ahead and put this on the screen because it's such a powerful book. You have to laugh to keep from crying, How to Parent Your Parents. And this became a best-selling book. Tell us about that journey.
Well, it started about 25 years ago. My father-in-law, who lived with us, developed dementia. My mother had Alzheimer's. My dad had Parkinson. And most people know that women are the ones that are the caregivers. I was the only female on either side of the family, so I had to care for them. And I had to quit a job I loved. I was an event planner for a large corporation.
Yes.
I partied all the time.
Yes. And there's not a lot about that. Like, grown children are not prepared to parent their parent.
No, there is not a guide out there. And mine is actually, I just share stories about love, respect, patience, and forgiveness, because those are the 4 keys that kind of walk you through that journey. Those are, this book, like I say, was a transition of my whole life. And I do know that God has led me this way my whole life. I remember something my mother gave me, and it was a card from my first grade teacher. And she said, "This girl knows how to win friends and influence people." And that has been my pattern through my whole life. And I never knew I was going to write a book. I think everybody has a book.
Yes.
But I wrote the book about this journey for caregivers. And I'm known as the voice of the caregiver. They come to me. I give people my phone number. Call me if you have a problem. I'll talk you through it.
Yes, and we've seen on the news in the past few years, it's called the silver tsunami. So many people are entering retirement that the job of parenting your parent is something that everybody's going to have to face.
Yeah, you either been a caregiver, are a caregiver, or will be a caregiver. And that's why I go out and speak to people. I speak to people. I probably given away more books than I've sold, just because I think they need it in their hands. And I've gotten so much feedback from them. Many of people who've had my book for 10 years, they say, it's on my nightstand. I want to go back and read that story.
Wow, so beautiful. We've got some pictures of you out speaking and doing radio and television shows, so we're going to put some pictures. I love this, so tell us about this picture.
That's one of my skits that's called The Many Hats.
Okay.
That hat with the cross was the caregiver. This was another time I was speaking, and actually, I think I was singing there because I had flowers in my hand of going to the chapel or something.
Oh, so beautiful. And then I think there's a picture of you on a radio station. Let's go ahead and show that picture.
That's kind of been interesting. I'm on the board of directors with the Texas Authors Guild, and we interview authors. So I was able to interview other authors.
And this is a TV segment. Where was that?
That was here in Dallas. That was Good Morning Texas. And
So cool.
They interviewed me, on Good Morning Texas.
So cool. So she is multifaceted. If it wasn't enough that she's a author, speaker, actress, inventor, and coach, she also competed in a pageant. And we're going to show this picture because I want you to tell us about this.
Well, there's two funny things about this picture. It was in 2022, right after COVID, and a lady came up to me when I was autographing my books, and she said, "We want you in our pageant." And I said, "What do you want me to do for my talent? Read a chapter out of my book?" Anyway, it became funny. I ended up doing a comedy skit. I actually got in it to meet all of these ladies that like to compete like that so I could write a book. And I'm in the process of writing this book called Beyond the Footlights to find out who they are beyond the stage.
And you did very well. Tell us about the pageant and how.
Well, I won first runner-up. And
That's
that
pretty
was
amazing.
crazy. Well, the funny thing was I've never received flowers on a stage, and I ended up getting the Queen's flowers. I noticed it later. They're bigger than hers. That was okay because I love red roses.
What did you learn from that pageant experience?
Well, I learned that we're all alike in one way. We all have a mission. But I did find that the women that are in those pageants, and I'm not throwing them under the bus, they have a mindset. They are targeted to get that crown. I don't need a crown. My husband calls me Queenie, so But it was very special. I have some lifelong friends. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies who was third runner-up is a concert pianist, played around the world, and I beat her. But we are best friends, and we have a group called Star Time, and we go entertain at senior centers.
That is so cool. There are a lot of people who will snub their nose at pageants. Oh, it's a beauty contest, but it's so much more, isn't it?
Oh, it is so much more, and you have to come up with a philosophy, and you go through interviews, and there's a whole lot more to it, and you learn, you learn actually who you are and how you interact with other people, and especially women. And we know women, we kind of can be catty. So it's an interesting experience.
And I love it that you've created some lifelong friends through the pageant business. You are also a master gardener, and you have an invention. Share that.
Well, I wrote my book, You Have to Laugh to Keep From Crying, in 2017. But prior to that, I spent 16 years caring for father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer's, and a dad with Parkinson. And through that, I learned that I needed to take care of the caregiver because I got cancer. I had 2 surgeries, 36 treatments. I'm still here today because God has a mission for me. He has a message. I still go into senior centers and share the story of reinvent yourself. There's things you wanted to do your whole life. Do them now. Now you've got the time. And actually, I've got another friend that wants to start something in a senior home. And I go, yes. Say yes when someone asks you to do something. Then go figure out how to do it.
And tell us about your invention.
Well, my invention was I got cancer. And I started working in my garden. And then I got invited to be a master gardener. Well, if you haven't heard enough about me, I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So I go to San Antonio and become a Texas superstar master gardener, which there's only like 1% of us that do that. And doing that, I got my house on a garden tour. And before the garden tour, I looked at all those hanging baskets I had and I go, they're ugly. So I made this jacket. Well, long story short, it's an insulated jacket that keeps the moisture in the soil. I got a patent on it. So that's just how I didn't intentionally go to invent anything. Just my master gardener friends, you need to patent it, you need to patent it, you need to patent it. I go, okay, thank you, God, I will patent it.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the therapeutic nature of gardening, because it's not just growing plants or growing vegetables. It's so much more.
It's so much more. And I realize that people love to wear gloves, but when you're digging in the earth, you're with Mother Nature. And I tell people to take their shoes off and walk in the soil because then you're grounded, and it is so therapeutic. I know for a fact it can lower your blood pressure 10, 20, 30 points.
Yes.
So
And
it's so therapeutic.
in some of the senior communities around here, the garden is a big part of therapy, isn't it?
It is definitely a big part in what they're doing, and I'm actually helping them, teaching at some of the communities that hear about me how to make keyhole gardens, and that's another subject altogether, or raised bed gardens. And that's actually so they can use their walkers or wheelchairs and go up, and they don't have to bend over and get on the ground.
It's so beautiful. We have a couple minutes left, so I want you to give some words of encouragement to the person out there who maybe they're retired, but they don't have a reason to get up in the morning.
Well, like I said earlier, think of things that you wanted to do your whole life and tackle them now. Did you want to learn to speak French? Did you want to fly an airplane? Did you want to get on a stage? I promise you there are community theaters that want people our age to, perform in their plays. Whatever it is your passion, if you've never cooked or you want to be a better cook, take cooking lessons. Find a passion within you and you'll live longer. I have to tell you, I have 24 grandkids and they call me Mom. And they go, Mom, we want to grow up and be just like you, but you haven't grown up yet. I think that's the secret.
Wow. What a great way to end the show. We're going to also leave you with her Facebook page so you can get in touch with her for all your speaking needs. The great Charlotte Canion. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you
You bet.
very much.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.